Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. So we are looking at Tesla. Let me go ahead and give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. If you could please like, share, comment, subscribe. That would be very helpful. So again, we are looking at Tesla. I am looking at this at this time of recording in real time. The market is open, and I wanted to point out some things that, learn from my mistakes. Let me say that. I always say we learn and we grow together, right? So we are looking at Tesla, and Tesla came down. This is the 30-minute chart. It seems like we came all the way down to this level here of, let me say, the low of this candle is 413.70. And if I go and draw a line here, I can see this 413.70 area was an area of support for a gathering spot, basically, from yesterday. And price went up to this level. I'm going to draw a line here. Price went up to this level here, around there. And it too is not far from a gathering spot that we had from for 12:30. So we have to definitely be careful that we're able to identify those places and remember those places, and however you choose to chart or help you remember those are going to be helpful for you. So Tesla came opening bell, 9:30 bell rings. Tesla goes up, gets rejected, only to come back to the downside. Find support here. Buyers were there to take that price back to the upside. So that's why we see these long lines, the long wicks here on the top and the bottom. That's because buyers and sellers were having an interesting time at, okay, I'll buy Tesla at that price, or no, I'm selling Tesla at this price. So this next candle here, let me see if I can make it. Yeah. So this next candle here, Tesla came down. It seems like we bounced off of this ATR trailing stop, in my opinion. That's strong support, strong resistance, right? So we bounced off of that only to go back to the upside here. It's interesting that we broke through the 5 EMA slightly, only to come back under the body of this candle. Is under my 5 EMA. So as of now, I will use that 5 EMA as my resistance area. That means I'm having trouble in this area. If I was looking at this 30-minute chart, I will use the 5 EMA as my resistance. I will use this line that I have marked here at 422.22. I remember that so vividly, 422.22. I'll use that as my support area. So moving down to a smaller time frame for Tesla, this is the 5-minute chart. Looking at it on this 5-minute chart, we are consolidating. I would not be in a trade as of now, unless I probably could have gotten in on this scalp, buying it off the high. I always say buy off rejection, sell at sell at this rejection area. That means I'm going to take it back to the downside, and I'm going to buy it at this area of support. I bought off support, I sell at resistance. So that's something to be mindful of. Looking at this 5-minute chart, it tells me that Tesla 5 and 50 is crossing. I'd like to see that. My MACD has crossed. I like to see that. Well, I know there's some trouble here at this area about 425.39, that even if I got in the trade, I know that there's a possible rejection area here. I have a possible rejection area here, a possible rejection area here. So what is my strategy? What am I going to do? Am I willing to get in to scalp from, let's say, the high 424? Am I willing to take Tesla from 424.13 to 425.39? And with Tesla, that could be a decent move. It could be, depending on your strategy, right? So am I willing to take this trade? That's something to be mindful of. I have confirmations. My MACD is crossed. My 5 and 50 has not crossed yet. It is crossing. I have to wait until it crosses, because I could very well get stopped out. I could very well get a trick signal or something to make it seem like it's going to do something that it really does not do that. So that's something that we have to be mindful of, not to just rush into the trade. Make sure you have clarity. Make sure you have clear understanding. Again, we are looking at Tesla, and Tesla is moving sideways. The high for this morning, or today, 427.93 has been our high. Our low is around 413.75. So Tesla has been trading in that range, in that zone, and it could very well trade like this throughout the day. So I'm going to go to the SPY, because I did get an alert that SPY made a new high. or it broke past the level that I had marked, and that was the 590.16. The high of this candle here is 590.36, so my alert went off to let me know we broke past that place. I definitely need to watch the SPY above the 590.58 area, because we've tried to test this area before. Even during pre-market, we tried to test this area only to have trouble. So are we going to get rejected here and come back to the downside? That's something to be mindful of. We got rejected here at this level. Does that mean we cannot continue higher? It does not. So I do have an alert, another alert set at 590.89, just to let me know SPY has broken through a level of resistance. But for some reason, that ATR trailing stop, as you can see right here, price got we're getting rejected in this area. SPY is definitely having trouble at that area, so we need to watch it before entering the trade. Here's another example. As we were looking at Tesla, the MACD crossed here. It would have been an entry. I like to see that. However, my 5 and 50, my confirmation, what I like to see, I know even with entering, I could have had some trouble in this area. Now, could I have gotten in for a scalp? Absolutely. We have a double bottom here. It's broken through this layer of resistance, even though we have trouble here, 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 and here. You know, I could have very well entered for a scalp back to the upside based on what I see here on this 5-minute chart. So with trading, y'all, it's really your strategy and finding out what works best for you, and being able, look at how quick this spot, just that quick, how price went up to this area. I needed to stop that. How price went up, came all the way back down. It's like the sellers are in this area as they were right here. So what I was saying was, with trading, it's really coming up with the strategy that works best for you, and knowing what the signals mean and what the thing, you know, I wasn't remembering the names, the technical names. Again, I'm a visual learner. I just know when I saw 2 candles at the bottom of this right here, that's normally a signal of reversal for me. And I look at the body of the candle. Some people look at the wick. In my opinion, this is where the price is here. So I look at the body of these candles. I know if I see that at the bottom, that's a double bottom. Price is probably going to go back up, and that's exactly what happened here. If I see that at the top of a move or up in this area, I would consider that a double top, and price normally comes back to the downside. So that's something to be mindful of. I couldn't get so caught up in the name to where I missed the meaning. In my opinion, the meaning is what's important. If I couldn't remember the name, I know exactly when I see that, that's what that means. So I need to pay very close attention to that. So again, I'm going to go to the 30-minute chart for the SPY. And as you can see, y'all, we're still trading. Okay, the market has been open for almost an hour now. So we are still trading in this gathering spot, really not moving. We're still trading. I'm going to see if I can make it a little bit bigger. We're still trading. This is pre-market. The gray shaded area here, price is still trading in this area. So I need to watch this 589.46 area, because that has held us up before, and it seems like that's where we are now. Breaking that brings us back to, we could possibly come back to the 588.92 area, and it looks like my 5 and 50, look right here, wants to cross. Again, looking at it on this 30-minute chart, so it looks like SPY is trying to go back to the downside. What's interesting is the little wick that was just there. So it seems like, again, we're trying to go back to the downside. So I'm going to go to a smaller time frame, which is the 5-minute chart, and we can see that wick here clearly. And what's interesting is, because look, that line 589.46, I see it, everybody else see it. So they could have very well brought it down just a little bit to give you that, again, that indication that it's going to continue declining, only for it to just bounce from here. It could have been our support area, although we have trouble here, 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 and here. There's a lot of resistance to the upside. So again, you want to make sure you have a clear picture as to why you're trading and not just jumping in your trades. And that was one of the mistakes that I made. You know, it seemed like when the bell rung, it's go time. It's time to just go in and get in the game. Well, you have to make sure that you understand the position. You have to understand that, you know, where you could possibly have trouble. What is your strategy? You know, making sure that you have all of that before you enter the game or before you enter the trade. And I can relate it to sports, because sometimes with football, people are on the outside looking at the game, or with basketball, you're on the sidelines, you're looking at the game from a different view, so that when you go into the game, you can understand that this is what you saw on the outline, on the sidelines. This is what I saw. So yeah, y'all, trading is really not difficult. It's understanding the language, or understanding the how to read the charts, and they all give a signal, they all tell a story. It's just learning how to piece that story together and make sure that you have clarity and understanding. And majority of the time is where we lack wisdom or discipline. Let me say discipline, not really wisdom. We lack the discipline to execute the plan. Sometimes I used to stay in a trade thinking and hoping that it could go back to this area where my charts are clearly telling me that it's in the opposite direction. Why are you still in this trade when you're losing, or hoping that it could possibly turn around at some point, find support, and go back to the other side? Well, I've lost X amount because I stayed in it way too long, when I could have just sold at that place, re-entered the trade, and made up for the difference. So that was definitely one of those places of something I had to definitely learn the hard way. So again, we are looking at the market today, just in real time at the time of recording this video, let me put it that way, just to see what we can learn today, y'all. And again, the market is interesting. The last trading day of the year, SPY is finding support in this area of 589.46. We see that, and we've been trading in this area all morning since pre-market all morning. And what I like to call interesting is how we have these wicks here. So that tells me we got a lot of sellers that in this area. So SPY is having a different time right now. I need to watch that 589.46. I'm going to go to Tesla just to see where we are with Tesla. It too was trading in a gathering spot. With Tesla, I needed to definitely watch that 422.22. That level is something that's been just sticking out in my mind because I've said it so many times today. But again, our time frames are telling us the exact same thing. Our 5-minute is telling us Tesla is trading in a gathering spot. Our 30-minute is telling us Tesla is trading in a gathering spot. What's interesting is we came down to the support area. See how that wicked up really quick? That's because buyers were there for Tesla to buy it at that place. Now, are we going to continue to the downside to this level of support, which is around that 419.71? There's a wick right here, so that tells me that there's some buyers that's willing to buy Tesla at this price. Well, we have to be careful. Just that quick. You see how price just jumped just that quick with Tesla. So again, one of the things I always try to keep in mind is, I use the moving averages as a support area. My purple line here is my VWAP. If price is above that, I definitely don't need to be in the downside of the trade. If it's under that, I don't need to be in the upside of the trade. So I try to use my VWAP as my line of up and down type thing, and as far as price, let me say it that way. So yeah, again, y'all, learning the market, studying the game, understanding the position, and it's okay to not have a trading day, to just watch it, observe it, and study the chart, study the ticker, whichever you like to trade. Find something that you like to trade and just study how it moves, when things happen, when things go. That's a very helpful way for me. I had to learn that the hard way, not to be bounced all over the place as far as trading this, even though the concept is the same. In my opinion, I look for the same setup regardless of what I'm trading. I try to stick to the same few stocks and and trade those every day, because I've watched it and studied it for so long that kind of gives an idea. It normally does this. Now, is that always the case? No, because there's always a move that you didn't expect or anticipate. I say anything is possible. Nothing is guaranteed. So y'all, again, I hope these videos are very, very helpful. We learn and we grow together. These are some of the things that I see when I look at the market. There's no right or wrong. People, there's so many different ways to trade the market, and again, I say so often that we have to just come up with a plan that works best for us, what works for you and how you see it. And you definitely need to know what type of learner you are, because if you're, I'm a visual learner, so you giving me all these big words, I'm not going to get it. I have to see it. I have to visually see those things. So yeah, y'all, I hope that everyone have a very prosperous upcoming new year. I hope that yes, we're in this place to learn and make money, and learning is key, and being able to apply what you've learned. So knowledge is powerful once it's applied. I say that often. You also have an amazing day today, y'all. If you could, please like, share, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff, because we learn and we grow together. So until next time, y'all, be blessed as well as a blessing unto others.